Boys and girls, we sold about $5,000 on our eBay store. And I'm going to be telling you guys how I got this going. Welcome. So, my name's Cody, and we buy and sell products online. We try to make money online any which way possible we can. I'm just going to be explaining how So the main thing was just starting to list. So I have a setup, and I have it on the other videos on this channel on how I do my setup of doing my pictures. That made taking pictures on eBay so much easier. You guys might be wondering how many listings I actually have on eBay. So I have right now just under 1,000 listings. I'm at about like 900 listings. We should be to 1,000 pretty soon. The one thing that I've heard that people say online that I really don't like, they'll just say like list one item a day, and like you could list like one like super quality item that's like super high priced, and that might work for your business. But the thing that I've seen is just selling pretty much everything. So the way that I like to do it is move more volume. So like I'll have a day where I list like 50 items. So I'll take pictures of all the items, and then I'll actually list on my phone. I haven't really heard of anybody where they'll list on their phone. My favorite method is to take pictures of all the items. So like I'll take pictures of like 30 to 60 items, somewhere in that range, and then I'll just put on a podcast, and I'll have all the pictures on my phone, and I'll list on my phone. And so that way I kind of get to like listen to something that I want to while doing something that I might not want to, like listing. Like most people just absolutely hate listing. I feel like it's a little bit therapeutic and slightly annoying, but sometimes it's kind of cool because the way that I do it is I don't even really look up items before I buy them. I know that also might sound crazy too, but my whole thing is if I can figure out how to efficiently buy and then um, overall make a profit, that's all I care about. So like let's say I go to a garage sale and there's 50 shirts, right? And then the seller has them priced at $5 a piece. I would tell them like, hey, if I took every single shirt, like maybe usually if you just like lead with like this crazy demand of like, oh, like what if I took 50 of these shirts? It kind of makes them like a bit what do they call it, like apprehensive, like they don't want to do that. So like what I'll do is like I might find like an item or two that I know is going to do really well, and I'll buy it, and then from there I'll start having a conversation of like, hey, like would you be willing to get rid of all of this right now? And then they either really don't like that or they're so down for it, it's insane. Like they just want all their stuff gone. They're like, yes, like I've been sitting out here for the past 4 hours and I just want it all gone. um, they might even have a plan of like, oh, if it didn't sell here, I'm just gonna donate it. So you're also eliminating that work of then like, oh, whatever doesn't sell here, I gotta actually go to Goodwill and donate it. And so you really just cut out this like whole middleman strategy. You pretty much just go straight to the source. Hey, I want everything out and I want it in bulk. And that method has, one, saved me a lot of time in sourcing, and then two, I don't really look up any of the items, so I don't have to really do research on my phone. It makes it pretty quick. I find that every time I went garage sailing, I was able to fill up an entire car filled. And in my mind, I really like to have it so like any say t-shirt I'm buying for $1 to $2, like nothing insanely high. And like a lot of the other items, I like to think of it more of like an average cost. Like, all right, I need for jeans, my average cost, like I need it to be under $3. So because I know on eBay a lot of the jean brands that I pick up, they sell for $10 plus. So if I can get a ton of them at $2, $3, we're gonna make money in volume pretty easily. And then it's way easier to list say 50 jeans at one time than list say 5 jeans, then 5 shoes, and then 5 t-shirts, and then 5 jackets. So like when you get this kind of more bulk at scale, it makes all the other aspects way easier to deal with. Um, one big mistake that I made was like buying like moldy slash like mildew smelled items. So like I bought $10 worth of items from this lady, and they were good brands like Levi's. Uh, I don't know. She had a bunch. She had Levi's and a bunch of other like American Eagle. She had pretty good, pretty good jeans. Good thing I only spent a little bit of money with her. I only spent $10 because I was kind of already like, I don't know, because the clothes just smell weird. I put them through the washing machine twice and they still smelled like moldy and disgusting. So I had to throw that out. So there are like instances where it doesn't work out for me. But the main thing that I like to do is just buy bulk. Because when you buy bulk, you generally get a way bigger discount than when you just try to be like, oh, how much for this specific shirt? It's like they're going to be like $5. But if you go, okay, if I took all 10 of these, would you give me $2 a shirt? A lot of the times they're willing to do that. So like if you just take bulk and you're that guy to help them solve their problem, because that's like really all you're doing. You're showing up, you're there, and you're trying to help them solve their problem of they have stuff and they don't want to donate it because they want some money for it. But like you can't give them all the money for it. You have to give them part of the money for it so you can make some money too. So that's been my strategy. Is like I'll go to the sale, I'll find like a lot of stuff that I like. It's very rare that I'll just like try to buy literally everything, because the thing is, if you're just selling online, you can only move certain brands. So that's one of the downsides of my model is like there's items that I have that I know it's like I just sold a shirt today, $4 on eBay plus like $7 shipping. And I know I paid $1 for that shirt and I'm still like technically doubling my money, but the time, like everything, it's not worth it to make like $2. But that's like on the low end. Like a lot of the items that I get, I'm selling for, I would say like at least $8 to $20. And like there's people on YouTube that will tell you like, oh, don't sell anything unless it's $10 profit. But like if you go and you interact in the world, like that's just not reality if you're trying to do scale. Like yeah, you could find maybe 5 items that make $10 or $20 profit. You know, maybe you could find more. But the thing is, if you're trying to list like 30 a day or 60 a day, you're just not going to find those bangers. Like you're going to find a lot of basic, everyday, brands from like Kohl's, Target, like these like basic stores. And then you're trying to sell them for, and they're not even new. It's all used. So you got to make it a deal for the buyer on the other end that's buying it from you too. So it's definitely like a whole art, a whole strategy. I sold on eBay before this, but really this year I'm actually trying to like take it more serious. And I'm definitely experiencing where it's starting to make a lot of sense. Like I finally have enough space to store the product. That's one big thing about eBay. I've been learning how to like essentially market the product better because I'm doing promoted listings now on some of the products. Like if it doesn't sell in 2 months, then I'll do promoted listings of like 8 to 10%, and then usually they'll move. And the margins that I've been getting on these products are really insane. Like I'm buying these clothing items from $1 to $3, and then I'm selling that item usually, I'm saying usually, from like 9 to as high as like $30-$40. So that margin is insane. I haven't found that with any other reselling that I've done other than like selling books. That's also one other category that I sell. One thing that I would like to do in the future is be able to move some of the stuff that I can't move on eBay physically, like in a physical location. So where I'm at, they have booth stores. So it's like a store. If you don't know what a booth store is, you can just like look it up on YouTube. But essentially it's a store where there's a bunch of other small shops in it. So like you rent a space in somebody else's store is the best way to think about it. So when you get a booth in one of these stores, you can put whatever on your shelves. That's, that you're legally able to sell on the shelf. And then you can sell it. So like a lot of the items that I'm getting, that I'm trying to get in bulk, like some of the stuff is just junk. where, you know, I don't want to deal with it, or it's just not worth a listing on eBay. But there's money in it. Like, say for instance, one thing that I do right now is I buy and sell books. I would love to be like, let me buy this entire library collection. Let me buy this entire, personal collection. But I can't do that. I can only like sell the books that are good to sell online right now. But if I had a system where I have a books like a bookstore in a booth store where every book I have is $2 to $3. Online, those books say go for, like $9 to $11. Like somebody can go in, find a book that's way cheaper than online. Then I don't have to ship it. I don't have to do any of the labor. The only downside is I would say like people, they have to physically come and then shop at my bookstore, but then I don't have I don't have to ship it out. It's really like there's not too much hands-on stuff there. And like some of these like lower end media specifically, I would love to take, but it's just not worth it selling online. Because to ship pretty much anything now, it costs like $5. It is kind of ridiculous. Like if you do media mail, like it might be like $4, right? And then like you could say, oh, but Cody, you could like slap a stamp on there for like books and stuff. Like you really can't do that kind of thing. Maybe if you're shipping like a sports card, but the cost is just too much. So I think at some level, like you do have to have a physical presence if you want to buy more stuff. Because the thing is to scale further, that's the only way I really see it. Like you have to be able to be the guy that shows up and then solves the bigger problem of like, hey, I'm going to take all this. I'm going to cash you out. I'm going to take all of it. It's going to be very convenient for you. You don't have to worry about it. Because really, like when somebody has to get rid of their stuff, like if you've ever moved, you have to get rid of all your stuff. Or like, you ever just needed money and like, man, like I wish I could just sell this right now and like get the money out of it, right? But it's so inconvenient. But a lot of these like big stores, that's their entire business model. Like Plato's Closet, Once Upon a Child, Play It Again Sports. That is their business model, is to cash out local residents for their lightly used goods and then sell it at a retail location. So that's like really like my vision is I want to be the person to be able to cash out people at scale. The only problem is, or one of the problems is like, there's a lot of things that need to happen to do that. Like you need the space, right? You need to figure out like how you're gonna move this stuff after you buy it, and like there's a lot of logistics issues. From what I've seen, like the people that made the most money, they're usually the people that they're able to buy the product and sell it almost immediately. So they're either like a wholesaler. So like say you're able to buy clothing bulk. Like let's say like Plato's Closet. They're able to buy clothing in bulk from people at scale. I don't know why they currently don't do it, but like imagine if they just wholesaled that clothing to an eBay seller. They would make so much money. Because then they don't have to deal with that product at all. They make profit at the time of transaction, and then everybody wins. The person locally gets their money, the eBay seller gets some inventory that they can then like list on eBay, process, and that person can get all the money of. The person at Plato's would, or the person that owns the store would make a profit off of that too. So like I don't see why they don't do that. Right now, from what I've studied, is they just sell what comes inside of their store, which seems really weird to me. Like as a value proposition, if you have a ton of stuff and you want to get rid of it, you would think like this trash bag of stuff, they would want all of it, but no, they want like just a few of the pieces. I'm just thinking of more like there's so much. It's like they got an orange and they squeezed it like very slightly, and then like a little bit of the orange juice came out. And I'm thinking like, why don't they just squeeze the whole freaking orange? That's just my take on it. No idea what I'm going to title this video, but probably something stupid like I sold $5,000 dollars on eBay. Here's how. But this is like the mentality behind it. It's like, I want to get bulk. I'll list it on eBay, move it, and then use this as like a springboard to move it on other channels, whether it's locally, other online channels, wholesale, whatever. Because the thing is, the people that make the most money, it seems like you get the stuff in bulk, and then you try to sell it as quickly as possible. And then you just keep getting more and more deals. That's what it's seen from what I've seen. A lot of the people that make a lot of money in this business, they buy out like entire collections. I could talk about all these different topics for like hours, but that's just a quick overview of like how I've made $5,000 on eBay in sales. The profit on that's like $200, but I have almost 900 items listed right now, and all of those items are pretty much pure profit. So the projected profit, I guess you could say, when everything's said and done, is probably around like $3 to $4 grand, which is pretty cool. That's just like a rough estimate off the top of my head. I have like a spreadsheet that breaks down more. But if you were curious, if you do like, you know, your mileage may vary too. You might do 5K in sales and be unprofitable, right? You might do 5K in sales and it's all profit because you get the items for free. I have no idea, you know, how you guys are getting your items. Whether, you know, you have a relationship and then you get them for free from whoever, because people see you as like a thrift store and they donate it to you. Who knows, right? So everybody's business is going to be different. But I'm saying, I don't know. Sorry, I just like blanked out. I'm just saying, like, for my specific scenario, and this is like not financial advice or anything. For my specific scenario, I've made just a few $100 just selling and on eBay, and it's nothing crazy, but anybody can do it. This is something that's definitely going to be able to pay pretty much all my bills, so I don't really have to worry. I do a bunch of other things to make money online, but I see the eBay business as something that just pays all my bills, so I don't really have to worry too much. Then all the other businesses will be a bit more gravy, so I don't really have to worry about it. Man, this was a pretty long video. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have a specific topic or want to know something specific, definitely let me know. Appreciate you tuning in, and see you guys in the next one.